Alright, sun and moon relationships. Alright, sun and Mercury relationships. Nigga, flight boss, bitch. Archangel Uriel, I'm here to carry out God's duties and responsibilities, nigga. Now, the sun and Mercury relationships now. This is my whole little sun series. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to make sure I run down every goddamn thing. The sun through the houses, the sun aspects, relationships, that's what I'm on now. The sun, what it actually means, all that shit. But this right now is the sun relationships with Mercury. Now the sun relationship with Mercury is Mercury is the way you put the puzzle together, put the pieces together in your brain. Whatever you're thinking about, however you analyze it before you communicate it, that's Mercury. Now the sun is your actions. So when your sun is in sextile with your, I'm going to start with trines. When the sun is trining your moon, which means the same element, y'all, we should know what trines is right now. Now when the sun trine the moon in someone's natal chart, it means whatever they're communicating, however they put the pieces in their mind together, is in an agreeable state with your actions. So the things you're into and the things you like, you're able to talk about these things very clearly because they're on the same page. You either to communicate with niggas, talk about shit you into. Say you into guns, right? And your sun your sun trines your Mercury. So you're gonna love talking about guns because if you're into guns already, you know what I'm saying, this is shit you talk about. So a lot of things that people may bring up that has nothing to do with guns, in your brain, you're gonna put it in a way that it has something to do with guns. You're gonna be like, somebody may be talking about, man, I just broke up with my girl and shit like that. The sextile, the trine sun and Mercury person, if they're into guns, this is an example. They're gonna look at it like this. Damn, man. I remember when I had to throw one of my guns before, man. I felt the same way you felt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Boom, right there. That's like a little trine. You know what I'm saying? You like to communicate what you're into, basically. You know what I'm saying? And then if someone around you is talking about a bunch of shit you're not into, you're not gonna be that able to elaborate what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You're not even gonna care too much about it. So that's when your sun trine Mercury. Now when your sun sextile Mercury, you see opportunities in conversation. So these people can be gossipy people because the way they put things in their brain is and the way they put it together to communicate it is like an opportunity from their actions. So they act on it. So if a person around you, if you a sun sextile Mercury and you got a person who around you that's talking about somebody else, gossiping and shit like that, you may jump in on it too and start talking about what you don't like about that person too. You know what I'm saying? To that person, and because you see that as an opportunity to go ahead and get off your frustrations about that person. You know what I'm saying? But that person had to start talking about it first, but you felt the need to be like, all right, yeah, I don't like that motherfucker either. I'm glad you feel the same way. It was an opportunity to share something with someone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, that's my opportunity to, damn, I didn't know he felt the same way about this nigga that I did. So that's a sextile. So this is why a lot of friends are sextiles. They might got interchangeable sun and Mercuries. Like your sun may be in Aries and your Mercury may be in Gemini. Then your friend may be a sun sign Gemini and his Mercury may be in Gemini. So you know what I'm saying? Like, well, hold on, that don't even make motherfucking sense. Cause you would have to be like Mercury is only 28 degrees from the actual sun, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the farthest it can go, above or below. So a lot of times this may erupt a little bit due to retrogrades a little bit. So if you like 29 degrees of sign, I mean, shit, it might, you know what I'm saying? You might can be 1 degree of, if you like 29 degrees Aries, you might could be like 1 degree Gemini, depending on retrogrades. But then again, no, I don't even want to say that. You know what I'm saying? So that don't even make sense. But as far as your Mercury is gonna always be either semi-square or in the same or a trine, or same element, or conjunction or something like that. So you may be an Aries sun, Mercury in Aries, and then your friend may be a Gemini, a Taurus sun, but his Mercury may be in Gemini. You know what I'm saying? So this is why y'all get along. And then you may be wondering why, like, damn, I'm a Taurus and he an Aries. But why we get along? He fire, I'm earth. But that might be why y'all get along, because your Mercury, the Taurus Mercury may be in Gemini, and the Aries Mercury may be in Aries. So that creates a sextile. So y'all communicative, y'all good at communicating with each other. You know what I'm saying? So as far as actions, y'all know how to communicate with each other well enough to know that your actions going to be your actions and my actions going to be my actions, and it's going to be acceptable. And we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's like basically the sextile. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking square. If you got a fucking square in your Sun and Mercury relationship, then what happens here is sometimes you may get a person, they may not necessarily be introverted, but they may be introverted in certain aspects in their life. Like, say for this scenario again, you may be a person who come up to a square Sun and Mercury person, and this square Sun and Mercury person, you may start talking and gossiping to them, and then they get real quiet. And then you start thinking like, damn, what's this person so quiet for? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to necessarily communicate and express the way they feel about it, because they may not be sure how they feel about it inside. So they carry in that energy. So they just put things together in their brains, and who knows, they may be looking at you. Square Sun and Mercury people, this is what makes the common person wise. And this is a common natal chart thing when your Mercury is in a semi-square to the Sun. Because what happens here is you're able to analyze what you're receiving from people. And instead of you just being in a harmonious state with inside yourself and start being naive and start blurting things out, you're taking into consideration what this person doing, and you're able to see this person and be like, well, if this person coming to me talking about somebody, then he probably somewhere else talking about me. So I don't really want to even give him nothing to talk about anyway. So either squares a lot of times to switch subjects, sit there and let you talk, or sometimes elaborate a little bit just for the sake of conversation, but they don't dive too deep into giving you an analysis on them. You know what I'm saying? So this is when Sun square Mercury people. You know what I'm saying? And it's impossible for a Mercury to be in an opposition to a Sun. So I mean, we're gonna stop this video right here. Mercury is the most personal planet you have too. So a lot of times people may come across, you may come across, say, an Aquarius, say a person, you may come across a Capricorn person, right? Capricorn Sun person, and say their Mercury is in Aquarius, right? Sometimes you can very well confuse people from their Mercury signs, because this is the way they communicate. And if they square it off like that, a lot of times if they Sun and they Mercury is in a square, a lot of times things that they communicate may not necessarily things that they be into. So this may be a person who's you at work with, and they're communicating with you about TV shows and shit like that, and you go home thinking that this person actually watched these TV shows, when this person may have just been talking about that because they think you into that, and they're doing it for sake of conversation. But that person may not be necessarily into that when they go home. They may be into something else. They just know how to conversate. You know what I'm saying? They know different aspects to conversate from. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the Sun relationships with Mercury. Flight boss, bitch.